This video was sponsored by Squarespace. It was only a matter of time before I tried this project, right? It has been something of a theme in my work lately to mix textiles and ceramics. So today we're going to attempt to make a crochet clay sculpture. I got this really cute duck pattern from Etsy. It's from a shop called Faina Cute Toys. I'll link it down below if you want to make it as well. And I have to admit, I've never actually made amigurumi before. So what I'm thinking, I got the same thickness of yarn that she suggested, but she also tells you to use a much smaller hook than I would have normally used. Yeah, this yarn suggests to use size 7 hook and she suggests size 4.5. So we're gonna follow her thing. Do I have a 4.5? I think I only have a 4 and a 5. Okay, so we're gonna use a 5 then, I think. Maybe it'll be a little bit bigger then. And I'm just using simple white yarn for the whole piece for obvious reasons. I think is obvious, right? It's gonna get dipped and slip and the yarn is going to burn out. But if you do this, definitely make sure you get 100% cotton. I mean, I suppose you could use wool as well, but why would you? And it's also gonna stink more. Cotton yarn is what you wanna use. And I have to now work through this pattern. I'm hoping I can figure this out. To be honest, usually when I'm making crochet, it's either like freestyle or I follow a YouTube video. I don't usually use patterns. I find them a little tricky, but let's try. She's got these great photos throughout that should help. Let's see. I feel like I messed up somewhere along the way here because I'm supposed to have 24 chains here and I have 29. And look how, like, the proportions here are off. So we're gonna start over. As much as I hate to do it, I'd rather do it now than later on when he's bigger. I think that there's a bit of a learning curve for me for reading this pattern. I think I'm getting it now though, but I think I started messed up and that threw the whole thing off. It's not the pattern's fault, it's my fault because I don't know how to read these types of patterns. Also, working with this tiny hook and this thick ass yarn is a little tricky for me, but it's fine. We'll make it work. Chain 4. Yeah. Okay, we are back to where we messed up. It's looking a lot better now, looking a lot more under control. But gosh, this is like kind of an intense pattern. I mean, it's not, but you have to pay attention. You have to count. Like the only reason I can talk right now is because I'm just doing single chains right now in a circle. But I don't know, like crochet for me is like the mindless hobby that I do in the evenings, either in front of the TV or with an audiobook or something. And I'm usually making, well, I've been making a lot of granny squares because I'm working on a giant blanket, but something mindless, you know, like repetitive motions. And this is not repetitive at all. This is like each row is an adventure, which is really fun, but I have to pay attention. And I'm thinking I'm going to cut the cameras now because I'm gonna just work on this throughout the evening. So I'll catch back up with you when it's done. Is that? Yeah, okay. That was around. Here's where we're at. And as I go, I'm going to fill him up with newspaper. Some people suggested, I've gotten so many requests for this project because it's like a very obvious project. I'm a big crochet nerd. And some people suggested putting a balloon inside of this piece and then you can deflate the balloon and take it out after you've dipped it in slip. I worry about that. I'm not sure. I feel like that's dangerous. What I'd rather just do is fill it with newspaper and then I can dip it in slip, not worry about the newspaper, and then the newspaper will just burn out. That's what I'm thinking I'm gonna do. Cute. I mean, he's not as cute as the one in the pictures because it's not colorful yet. I'm still trying to think if I want to dip it in glaze or if I just let it be like a white duck. Let me know down below in the comments what I should do, and see you tomorrow. So I crocheted my little heart out last night and I finished all the pieces. I still just need to assemble him. But is this not a duck? This is like such a duck shape. A little bowling ball pin duck. I think it's right on. So I'm going to go a little off script with the assembly because I want to make sure that all the parts are sticking out. With the design, like the feet are supposed to be attached like underneath here, but it's going to sit on a table like this. It's going to not be like a three-dimensional interactable object because I'm gonna have to remove the glaze from the bottom, of course. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna stick the legs off the end and stick the wings wherever feels right. Something like that. I think it's so cute. I'm pretty excited about this. I didn't put that much newspaper in it because I didn't want to burn off like so much material in my kiln. I'm a little bit afraid already of this much material. It's gonna be fine, but it's definitely not gonna be good for my elements. So I stuffed it fairly loosely. I hope that it's enough, and these aren't stuffed at all. So I'm just gonna go ahead and sew him on. Also, I had another incredible idea when I was sewing this up last night, crocheting it, I mean, is that I want to make little button eyes like this. But obviously I'm going to have to make it out of clay. So I have a strategy, but we'll see how that goes. Definitely not the nicest piecing together of all time, but it doesn't actually matter because he's gonna get covered in slip and he's gonna look cute as hell. So, if you haven't noticed yet, this project is very similar to a project that I did not that long ago, which is the origami crane project. And I learned a lot about dipping things in slip from that project from y'all in the comments down below and in my Instagram DMs. And I want to give a special shout out to Pottery by Drew, who really walked me through how to make my slip better for dipping things in it. So shout out, thank you so much for that. Basically, what I was missing from that project was the addition of a deflocculant, okay? And a deflocculant is something that just makes the whole slip more fluid without compromising the integrity of the slip itself. So like not diluting it with water, basically. It makes it more fluid without adding more water, which is exactly what I needed. And what I learned is that this is what they add to pouring slip for slip casting and things like that. And so I thought about buying a deflocculant, but then I remembered I have this. I have basically a full bucket of yeastmesse, aka pouring slip, that is exactly already made. So I'm assuming it already has deflocculant in it. This is stuff that you can buy from our local ceramic store, and it's just like pre-made slip casting slip. I'm a little bit like, I should experiment with the deflocculant just for this video so we can learn together how it works. But I have this already, and I didn't want to buy anything because I already have this and it's just been sitting in my studio, and it's a whole bucket. I bought this for a project that never came to fruition, and I don't like wasting things, so we're gonna use this. If you're in Germany, this is the brand slash stuff I have from Sibilico, I don't know how to pronounce them. Yeah, so we're going to dip this guy in the slip, and I have to tell you, I am scared. Let's take a little break to talk about today's sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform that artists and entrepreneurs use to stand out online. I've personally been using Squarespace ever since I started my online business because it has incredibly easy-to-use features, including their drag-and-drop website builder and integrated SEO tools. Whether you're just starting out or managing a thriving brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website to sell anything from physical products to memberships, digital products, and even services. You can also schedule appointments, create on-brand invoices, and send newsletters. And for the artists watching, I know you will love their cutting-edge design tools, where you can create a bespoke website that perfectly fits your brand or business. So head to squarespace.com right now for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/potterytothepeople for 10% off your very first website or domain. Now let's get back to the video. stirred it for like 5 minutes because this thing has been sitting for at least 2 years. And I don't know if I should add water to it because it has also been sitting in my kiln room. So it's been getting hot and I don't know how good of a seal this lid is. But I'm just going to dip it because it's pretty full. I'm kind of scared to mess with it. I'm really nervous right now because I have one shot at this. Unlike the origami crane video, I was able to do it, a few times. And this thing took me several hours to make. So I'm a little scared of just screwing it up entirely. One thing that was like a godsend, someone posted a reel on Instagram, I'll post it here if I can find it again, of someone basically doing the exact same project. And what I learned from her is that she sort of massaged the slip into the knit. And I'm gonna do that as well instead of just dipping it. It's something I wouldn't have thought of. And then also she spent some time wiping it back a little bit. So I don't know. just gonna dip it in. This is gonna get really messy, I think. I feel like I should have done a sample of this. Okay. Oh, little guy. Oh my God, this is so thick. Okay, we're massaging. This stuff is so thick. Feels kind of good though. I'm pretty sure the newspaper just like melted on the inside here. I feel like I am doing this to a dead animal right now. Okay, let's set her down. Oh, your neck got a little stretched out, didn't it? The sun is just like moving around in and out of clouds right now, so sorry if the lighting is crazy. I think I'm gonna wipe back extra slip now. I'm not really sure the order of things. I don't wanna, see that's adding its own texture to it. I don't wanna mess with it too much. I feel like I want that kind of like raw look to it. I mean, he looks pretty cool though, doesn't he? I need to take a moment to appreciate that and not just be stressed about it. I wonder how long this is going to take to dry. He's holding his shape pretty okay. Can I get him a little more puffed up? No. Oh my God. Oh, I'm just messing it up. Just making it worse right now. Oh my God. I think I'm just gonna let him be a little bit squishy because I'm just making it worse. And I guess it's supposed to look like a semi-deflated toy, isn't it? I don't know, the lady in the reel wiped it back quite a bit, but I don't think I'm going to do much. I think I'm gonna call it at that. Like, I like how it looks. I don't know how it's gonna look when it dries. Okay, I'm just gonna let it be. I'm gonna let it be. I don't know what else to do. I think tomorrow I can come back in when it's leather hard and maybe mess with it a little bit more. I'll add the eyes that I'm gonna make now tomorrow for sure. So I'll have a look at it tomorrow and then we can figure it out. But yeah, what do you think? It's looking like a dead duck. It's supposed to be cute. I don't know if it's like a little bit gruesome. Maybe it's a little bit gruesome. This is not what I intended at all. Okay, the other thing that I want to do is make a press mold for these button eyes. I don't know if I've ever actually made a press mold on this channel before, to be honest. I haven't made a press mold in a really long time, but I think that I can do one really easily with this little button, and I'll show you how. So I'm just gonna start with some reclaimed clay. The clay that you use doesn't matter at all. It's gonna get tossed, so use whatever you don't mind losing. I'm gonna roll a 1 centimeter slab with this. Just something like this. It doesn't need to be big. I mean, it needs to be bigger than the size of your piece, but not massive. So this is going to be basically just a bottom for this. And I'm gonna press this into it, not very much though, because I wanna get that 3-dimensionality of the button, just enough so that it's like sticking. Like so. And then I'm gonna pour plaster in this, so I need like a little wall. So I'm gonna use clay for that. Like, this is such a small piece. I don't have any like proper mold making equipment for this, but this is like such a shallow piece it doesn't really matter. And then because the reclaim is gonna get mixed with the plaster, it's gonna be tossed after this. You can't actually reclaim it afterwards. That's perfectly fine for such a small piece. So I'm making the wall way taller than it needs to be just for safety reasons. Don't want any overflows. Making a little mold can really be this simple. You don't need any fancy equipment, although it is nice. Okay, that's what it looks like. I'm just gonna pour plaster in here. So I'm going to mix up my plaster with a ratio of 4 parts water to 5 parts plaster. So I have 150 milliliters of water here, and I have 187 grams of plaster. I've gotten in trouble in the past, by the way, of adding my water to my plaster. People say that's the wrong way to do this. I guess it makes lumps easier. I'm not sure, so I'm doing it the proper way this time, adding my plaster to the water, and I'm gonna use the lid to stop it from poofing up too much. Let that settle, and then we're gonna stir it. Okay. You don't have a ton of working time with plaster. Try not to breathe it in too. Ideally wear a mask. And mix up more plaster than you need. Because I've also made that mistake. And they don't bond, like if you do 2 layers of plaster together, theoretically it's fine if you move quickly, but they don't bond as well as they should. So it's not ideal. So I'm looking for the lumps to be gone, and they seem to be gone. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour it into my mold. My mold for my mold. Okay. I poured it right up to the rim because the thicker you make it, obviously the more robust it's going to be. If it's very thin, you know, it could just crack. And now I'm gonna shake the table a little bit so that all the bubbles are gonna rise to the top and not be in the button part. See all those bubbles on the top? That's why we're doing this. Okay, now we wait. I haven't made a mold in so long, but I feel like it's gonna be like 15, 20 minutes.
A few minutes later.
Okay, it's been like 20 minutes, I think. And it's still a little bit wet, but I'm gonna try and peel off the walls at least. We'll see how far we get. I wanna be careful because it's still quite wet. Okay, now I need to get the button out. Hope that there wasn't an undercut on this button. Oh, come on. Oh no. It's possible there was a slight undercut on this button and I didn't notice. It should not be hard to get out. Carve a little around the edge. Ah, nice. Ooh. Okay. I did mess it up a little bit. It should be okay because I'm going to cut the holes out anyway. I think it's gonna be fine. Okay, well, it is what it is. I'm going to let this dry now. I'm gonna wait to use it until tomorrow. We'll see how it looks. And hopefully my duck is going to be leather hard tomorrow is my hope. And then maybe I can manipulate him a little bit more and stick the buttons on. All right, see you then. Okay, so I don't know if I let this thing get too dry. I don't know, it's feeling like not leather hard at all. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, like using materials that I don't know anything about. My fear is that I'm not gonna be able to add the button eyes, which I think would be so, so cute. I mean, he's cute already, I don't have to add the button eyes. And then another thing I did is I scooched up his legs a little bit because I realized he was getting too wide for my kiln and I'll need to fire him like this. And then I put this on a hot kiln to dry, so it's pretty nice and dry now. So let's see if we can get a button out of our little mold. Like I could pour a little bit of slip in here, but I just don't want to do that because I want it to be not hollow. I need it to be like the right depth of the button. And I suppose I could do that if I poured more and more and more, but that sounds complicated. I'd rather take a risk, I guess. But I'm just gonna make a little ball because I don't want there to be any air pockets. And then I'm gonna slowly press from the center to the outside. I'm gonna cut it now and then I'm gonna wait a minute. Okay, oh, that did not work. Let's try that again. Let's wait a minute. Nice, this is what we wanted. Okay, now, how do I get this out? What if I just... Ah! Okay, that worked. I didn't expect that to work so easily. Look at that. So it needs a little bit of cleaning up, and you can see where the plaster broke. That's been imprinted as well, but we can make it work, I think. We can make it work, okay. I'm going to set you aside for a second. He's delicate. What I wonder is is the mold making process with this specific design, would it have been just easier to sculpt the button? Perhaps. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. Okay, this one just came off perfectly. We have two eyes. All right, I'm just gonna use my X-Acto knife to clean up the edges. Oh, it's so delicate. I sort of feel like this all would have been easier if I just sculpted it. That's rough. This is a bad idea. This is a really bad idea. I mean, it looks good, but I also still have to attach it. I have a better idea. I'm giving up on this. I'm giving up on this. I have a better idea. Okay, we're gonna use the rest of this clay. 2 identical tiny little balls, okay? I'm gonna roll it really round so that when I squish it, it's going to be like an even circle. Is this duck giving Coraline vibes? I feel like it is. It's a little spooky, huh? Okay, we're gonna press it down. Hopefully it's the right size. They're not even, but maybe that's part of it, huh? Okay, I'm gonna give it a few minutes to harden up because then I need to carve things away, but it'll dry pretty quickly because it's such a small piece. Okay, I feel like he's done, for now anyway. I really like how he looks now. He's definitely giving a little bit of creepy Coraline vibes. I'm okay with that. I think that's really cool, but you let me know what you think. Yeah, I've already had some ideas about how I'm going to glaze this, so I'm pretty excited about that. I hope he survives the kiln. I hope that the eyes stay on. We shall see. We shall see. Okay, it's about a week later. I'm gonna load this thing into the kiln. It's pretty early in the morning because I really wanna keep an eye on this thing today. I am a little nervous about firing this much material. Wow, that just barely fits. It's definitely gonna produce some smoke. I've got ventilation going. It should be fine. I mean, I fired material in clay before that gets burnt off, but I don't think I've ever done this much. I'll definitely wanna keep an extra good eye on this kiln today. All right, be good. Okay, so it's the next day. The kiln has cooled enough to open it. So in terms of the firing yesterday, there was definitely some smoke coming out of it. You can actually still smell it a little bit in this room. Somewhere between 200 and 300 degrees, all of it got burnt off. It wasn't a ton of smoke. It was just some wispy wisps, and mostly you could smell it. So, think about whether or not you can do that in your space. I'm not sure I would do that in the city where you can't warn your neighbors that there might be a little bit of smelling. Yeah, my upstairs neighbor, I talked to my upstairs neighbor about it and he didn't even smell it. So it was fine. It was just a tiny, tiny bit of smoke, but I do want to warn you that you will smell burning. For me, it was kind of an interesting proof of concept that my ventilation system works. Yeah, let's open it and hopefully it's not just like a crumble of nothingness. Ooh. Oh my God, this thing is light as a feather. This is scary. I have to be really careful with it, but he's completely in one piece. He looks actually exactly the same, which is a relief, I guess. My plan is I want to make this duck look like a white duck. I'm not going to even try to make a mallard looking duck. I was debating if I should do white, but I think what I'm going to do to make it a little bit more subtle is a transparent glaze over the body of it. So the color difference is like, instead of like a bright white, we're gonna do like a softer transparent. And then for the beak and the feet, we're gonna make them slightly yellow. So it's like pretty subtle. I hope it's not too subtle. Like I'm gonna coat this on thick if I can. And then the one thing I haven't decided is the eyes. I want to either make them blue or like black, I was thinking. I think I'm gonna do blue. I have to make it a paint-on glaze. So what do I have? Maybe one of these. Dark blue would be more contrasty, but the light blue looks a bit more like, I don't know, maybe too pastel. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the sapphire blue, the dark blue. Okay, I'm gonna dip the whole thing in transparent, and then we'll do the detail stuff after that. Oh no. Oh my God, guys, this is a huge bummer. Look what happened here. I broke his feet when I set it down. I set it down like this, and that's like what cracked the feet. It is so fragile. It's possible I can glue it back together with the glaze. I'm gonna try. But oh boy, now I'm worried to dip his head. The glaze just like softened it too much, you know? It's also probably gonna take a really long time to dry because it's not a lot of clay for the water of the glaze to soak into. I had the same thing with the cranes, and yeah, I'm just gonna let it chill for a little bit. Okay, it's actually the next day because this was just taking so long to dry yesterday. I just told myself I'm gonna let this sit overnight. I still want to apply the other glazes, and then I'm going to try to piece together the feet again and kind of glue them together with the glaze. This is my plan. We'll see how it goes. I'm also a little worried about, painting on glaze because it's gonna be a little bit more pressure than just dipping it, but at the same time, I guess it won't be as much water. We shall see. Okay. This is my yellow glaze, Citrongelb from Bots. The thing about this glaze is it's very subtle, it's very light, which is what I love about it, but I need to like do a rather thick coat, otherwise it's not going to show up against the transparent glaze. Let's try it. So I want to paint the feet and the beak with this color. Okay, I take it back. These are already dry enough to handle, so I am going to go ahead and fire this today. Yes, that's very exciting, but I need to do a second coat of everything, I think. I want to make sure it's thick enough. I'm so anxious to see how this turns out. I'm so anxious. Okay, well, usually I worry about the piece. Right now, I'm kind of worried about my kiln. But yeah, it's very, very tight. You never know what's gonna happen. All right, be good. All right, friends, it is the next day. The kiln is now cool enough to open. I was thinking a worst case scenario that I thought of last night was like the whole thing could just deflate and like we just have like a flat duck. This is something that could happen. Mostly I'm worried about my kiln. I have no idea what to expect. Okay. I don't know, guys. I feel like this was a fail. If I can say one thing that I like about it is I like his little blue eyes. I like the buttons. You can't really see the holes of the buttons because I put too much glaze on, but I do like them. His feet fell off again. I'm not really sure why. I thought I glued them on pretty well. I think what is most disturbing to me about this is this like broken up crochet pattern. It just makes it look darker than I wanted it to look. Maybe I should have glazed this thing white because it just looks muddy and not whimsical. It kind of looks like a dead duck. The last video I posted, well, in real time, the last video I posted was the leather video. Y'all were like, stop talking so negatively about yourself. And it's not like, I'm at the point in my career where I am able to like separate myself from my work. Like I don't take this stuff too hard. I am disappointed. I'm really disappointed. I don't like it. I really don't. But I'm not gonna like beat myself up about this. I feel like I can criticize my own work and not feel bad about myself because the work needs to stand for itself. And this just isn't it. Also the glaze, there's not enough contrast between the transparent glaze, the white clay, and the yellow. I don't use this slip ever. I'm wondering maybe this slip is a little bit darker than my normal white clay, so I was thinking it would turn out like my normal white clay, but it's actually a little bit darker, a little more gray. It's just not the whimsical little duck that I wanted him to be. And that's all right. It's all right to have failures sometimes. I think that my career of making things and dipping them in slip is over. I want to go back to other projects. I have a lot of very exciting projects coming up. Actually, strap in because there's going to be quite a few tile projects coming up that I'm super, super excited about. Honestly, I haven't felt so excited about a project in a really long time. I've been spending loads of time down here just kind of like researching these projects and trying to figure out what I want to do. Well, that's all I have to say about this duck. Know that you're not alone if you make pottery that absolutely freaking sucks. It happens. It's part of the process. All right, friends, that's it for me today. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.